On Wednesday night, August the 11th, a crowd attracted by the arrest of a traffic violator grew unruly and difficult. Police action curbed but did not contain the disturbances that night. They flared and grew intensely over Thursday the 12th.
Western Center is different from a lot of the other organizations because actually Western Center represents the beginning of public interest law.
Western Center on Law and Poverty's mission is to end poverty in California. We do that by addressing the causes and conditions that give rise to poverty. That includes structural racism, systemic oppression, and the legacies of a white supremacist culture.
We know that the work that Western Center is doing, along with an entire collaboration of community-based organizations and stakeholders, is absolutely critical.
Western Center focuses on 3 core areas, which is housing, health, and public benefits. The housing team extended the eviction moratorium twice and staved off a tsunami of evictions this year during a health crisis and averting thousands, perhaps, from entering homelessness.
Western Center makes a difference in the lives of the people it serves because it comes alongside community and partners with community members to figure out how we can address the problems that are facing our communities, specifically people impacted by poverty.
Statewide, 18% of adults over 65 years old and 17.8% of children live in poverty.
Black moms are dying at a rate of 4 to 6 times, that of white moms.
We have always appreciated their advances to us and their invitations to participate in important policy work on poverty and particularly on lifting children and families out of poverty.
This organization is making strides on a lot of things that are going to be helpful, not only now, but into the future with respect to housing, with respect to poverty, with respect to food, hunger, all of these things that we think about and we're concerned about and we feel angry and sad and upset about. Western Center is actually moving to change a lot of these things to improve the lives of the people in California.
In June 2020, 4.8 million Californians in 2.6 million households were receiving CalFresh benefits.
It's one thing to get laws passed, but it's another thing for those laws to actually trickle down and impact the people they were supposed to impact. So we keep pushing and we keep fighting. And so far we've been able to avoid a significant eviction cliff. And we're hoping to keep that momentum and keep that pressure on legislators in California because people need that help right now in the midst of the pandemic.
People of color also continue to face discrimination in housing in California, with African Americans representing 6.5% of the population, but nearly 40% of the unhoused residents.
We bring about change. We improve income security, we improve food security a little better, and we're a voice for affordable housing, and we're an important voice for affordable health care.
The low-income Californian is the everyday person. That is so much. That's a huge chunk of the state. That may be the person experiencing homelessness. It also could be mother of 2 who's struggling to pay the bills. It looks like a lot of different things.
Through the immense efforts of Western Center and many of its partners, the uninsured rate in California came down from 17% before the Affordable Care Act to 7% over the last several years.
We have the leadership, we have an organization with the track record, the experience, and now more than ever, we need Western Center to continue to do what it does best.
The pandemic has, disproportionately affected low-income Californians, but low-income Californians that are mostly, people of color, people with disabilities, people from, various backgrounds, and those folks need assistance, and it's not just overnight. There's not a switch.
There have been several moments throughout the last 15 years or so where immigrant programs were on the chopping block, and Western Center was a great partner to ensure that we did not lose funding for these programs and that individuals still had access to these critical services here at the state level.
We know in this country that we have about a 67% recidivism rate, meaning that 67% of people who have been in prison go back within the first 3 years. And there are 48,000 legal barriers that people face once they have a criminal conviction, and criminal justice debt is a big part of that.
What makes it so compelling to interact with Western Center is the fact that they have such great staff and advocates. They are top-notch attorneys, top-notch advocates who really understand the needs of their clients. It's great to work with them because they also bring a lot of real-world experience and real passion into the work that they do.
I think of Western Center as the superheroes of Medi-Cal, the guardians of the universe for the unheard and the unseen. They play a key role in economic and racial justice in California. The staff are like superheroes. They are out there every day in the state capitol, in the courts, in the media, to protect the rights of the unheard and the unseen.
I had the real opportunity to get to know the staff in an unusual way when I served as co-executive director for 6 months. And I cannot tell you how impressed I was by how engaged and committed and hardworking and most of all caring the staff was, and I know continues to be.
April 2021. Approximately 1 million California households now receive additional emergency food benefits, thanks in part to the settlement of a Western Center lawsuit.
Western Center protects and sets the bar for the quality of service, quality of representation that everyone protecting their rights deserves.
We make a difference because we help provide a voice for people whose voices might not otherwise be heard.
There's a quote that I love that says, "Joy is a revolutionary act." I'm always encouraging the staff at Western Center for us to hold on to our joy as we're in the midst of the different battles we're engaged in on behalf of the communities we serve.